Hello, Christina Rizzo. Thanks for tuning into this video. Hope you all are doing well. It's a nice rainy Friday out, and I'm off work early, and I got a long weekend ahead of me. And I'll try to do this video without cracking up laughing because I'm responding to the aftermath of some of these people, liberals, uh, from the result of the election. So we'll start with the View ladies. And I remember specifically last election when Joe Biden won, Whoopi herself yelled in the camera and told us to get over with when Trump lost. I don't believe it was fair, but we had to deal with it. Okay. Now here they go and making all these, boo-hoo and, the democracy and, I mean, we're still in America. Yeah, I mean, as a woman in a lot of countries, you can't have a platform like that and run your mouth the way you do. So, yes, you will be grateful, and I think your program will still stand up after Trump is sworn in the next couple of months. Now, also, I remember, and this is how I found out the left side, real side. As the Tom Arnold song. They preach tolerance, but when we disagree, they want to fight. And this was 20 years ago. So it's my 20th year from this past election that I voted for a Republican president. I mean, I still voted Republican for all other offices, but that just goes to show you, if you go from left to right, you don't go back. So it was around Bush's second term, and I was working in some small. I was teaching at a what do you call it? One of those adult language schools. Okay, and for the life of me, I don't think he liked me very much because he refused to give me extra hours, despite of the fact I did a better job with and got along better with the students than a lot of the other instructors. And I toughed it out for 2.5, 3 years with them. But anywho, and this super liberal Mexican guy just you know looking like Chi, whatever the actor's name is with the long hair, and he just wailed me out when he found out about Bush. And I explained to him, but I was pretty gullible about the shift. And I explained to him, and he was still upset and shut up. And I'm like, oh wow, then this is how they actually act. And when Bush did win, I mean they got it. They got Obama for 8 years, but when Bush did, people was talking about voting for the devil and marching in the streets of Chicago, talking about some F Bush, and no good and well they couldn't give a hoot. A lot of these liberal cities, not just Chicago, a lot of these liberal cities couldn't give a hoot about anyone but their own interests. Speaking of interests, I mean, like they're supposed to care about minorities and all this other nonsense. No, I don't need any help for you. Jesus is my God. This is something temporary. I voted as a citizen and I'm done with it. No, I don't need anyone or the small g government's help. I don't. Um, I voted because that was my right. That's my right as an American citizen. But I digress. There's another patriot on YouTube, Amala, and she has an African name. I'm guessing she's literally African American, meaning an African father and an American mother. And she was showing clips of, also a meltdown of liberals. And this one specific lady, she's dressed in orange. I can't find the video solo because I was going to share it on social media. This is how crazy this woman was, okay? That all up in the feelings, all up in the feelings. and she called targets on Latinos, black males specifically, and white women. Now, let me. Well, they said, according to the stats, that Latinos voted for Trump the most, especially the men, just like last time. So then she says, this lady that's upset. I told her I'm trying not to crack up laughing because this woman was just so cringe. I can watch her video right now and I will still crack up. This lady was just Looney Tune insane. And Latinos should get. I'm laughing not because of what she said, but it's not gonna happen. It's ridiculous. Like she calling for all Latinos to be deported. Well, every Latino in this country is not Mexican. Which Latinos is she referring to? And then she said legal, both illegally and legally. And secondly, Latinos are not that those countries, those Spanish speaking countries, aren't the only ones where there are illegal immigrants. I mean, yeah, you see how ridiculous it is. Well, this is how, when you're upset, you really don't think clearly and logically. So she's doing a lot of misspeaking. Then she said, black men that voted for Trump. I think there were more black men. I mean, as they said, the more we're going to vote for Trump, you know. I mean, it's just a patriarchy. I mean, they're still men. I mean, yeah, I mean, they have a right to vote if they want to, but anywho, this is what she said about them. That she called it out for the cops to kill them. That's not gonna happen here. A cop ain't gonna randomly just come up and just shoot a black guy. I mean, unless that black guy gets aggressive and acts silly and don't want to obey the law. And that's anybody of any race. And besides, more white males are, yeah, okay, gunned down. But she said they're privileged. Then, speaking of white, she said white women, she called out domestic violence, um, and sexual, maybe sexual assault as well. I don't know. Yeah, just like before, it was mostly Latino men and white women that voted for Trump last time. The reason he didn't win, number one, it had some discrepancies with Arizona and Georgia, and then on top of that, I think um, not as many white men voted for him this time, last time, as opposed to this time. And I say that because I ran into them. They either voted for Joe Biden or they voted for that Georgiana, the libertarian side. But they still voted nonetheless. But yeah, these were supposed to be some privileged people. I've run into more liberal white guys than anybody. So I mean, you would think that okay, yeah, they're gonna just stick, tear apart. They usually don't. I mean, and people don't really discuss their politics. And besides, you don't know what a person voted for because when you're in the booth, it's covered. So a person can talk to you about one candidate and then turn around in the next breath and vote for that person. But I don't mean to crack up, but I just can't believe the meltdown. You got women shaving their heads. They're going to be I mean, I hope they're celibate. Good. You ain't got no business going out doing that in the first place. And you're an unmarried woman being irresponsible. I hope they are celibate. Good. You ain't got to get upset with men about it. All they do is ask. All you can freely say no. But you ain't got to get upset with men because Trump won. You still got to deal with men anyway. You have family members, you got your bosses, your colleagues. You're still gonna, your men are still gonna be there. So getting yourself all upset is really not helping you. But now you see how ridiculous this all is. I really wasn't gonna, but again, I'm not doing anything. It's raining outside. I'll probably just stay home the rest of the afternoon until this all blows over. Again, I got a long weekend to get things done. I mean, yes, I'm blessed with the rain we've been having the second week because we haven't had any rain for probably over a month or so. So, Christian Patriots, pray for these folks' salvation that really, uh, it's just so meltdown and upset because that's who they really they need the Lord. That's who they need. To have some type of peace in their hearts, to know who to rely on, and not get themselves all up in a bundle over nothing. Christina Resso, thanks for listening. Pray for our nation, our brothers and sisters under the persecuted church, and the state of Israel. The Lord bless you, keep you, and may His light shine upon you. And God willing, I'll talk to you as soon as I can.